wholesalers looking to close more deals faster, you need to stop falling for the shitty information on the internet, this is on the internet, about what CRM you should be using inside of your wholesaling business. If you ultimately want to close more deals faster, stop using a real estate-based CRM like Podio. Stop using these other CRMs like MailChimp. It's crazy. You look up real estate CRM and MailChimp says they are a CRM for real estate investors. Close.com is the tool used by some of the top wholesalers in the nation like Keekly.com. And I've been fortunate enough to work with a lot of these wholesalers because of my relationship with Jamil Damji and Astro Flipping, and through the processes that you can build inside of Close.com, the processes that we're gonna cover step by step in this video today, you can find yourself making exponentially more dials, having exponentially more conversations, staying in pocket with your buyers, staying in pocket with your JV partners, staying in pocket with your agents. So whether you're doing direct to seller, you're doing agent outreach, or you're working strictly on JV deals on acquisition or disposition side, in this video, I'm going to give you that step-by-step build on building an 8-figure wholesaling account within Close CRM. Who am I? Not a wholesaler, but I love building sales processes. My name is Sam Queen. I'm with the Close Doctor team, and I help service-based businesses scale to 7 and 8 figures using my systems-based selling strategies. Strategies like building custom-built CRMs for wholesalers, like we're gonna talk about in this video today. So if you are a wholesaler watching this and you're looking for help from someone like me or my amazing team to build you those bulletproof sales processes so you never see a lead slip through the crack in a very competitive wholesaling world where you guys know if you're getting that lead, you're getting that list, someone else probably has that lead and list too. So who's gonna make the most amount of contacts? Who's gonna stay in pocket the longest when the pain is built enough for that seller, where they're motivated enough, distressed enough to actually sell their home? And who's gonna keep the relationships the longest with the buyers and the JV partners and always stay in front of them so when they have that next deal, they put it in front of you? If you've got a second monitor, pull it up right now. We're gonna go click by click inside of Close CRM, setting up this wholesaling account. And I'm gonna try to do my best to break things down from a principle level for you, so if your business has its little nuances, you can still apply it to your sales process. Now let's get into the video. Here we are, brand new Close account, deleted the leads in here, deleted the smart views. We're gonna start fresh. There's probably some stuff in settings that we'll need to change, and that's where we're going to go to first. So we're actually gonna start by building our opportunity stages. Maybe if you saw my step-by-step that looks like this on your screen for building high ticket accounts, you saw that we start inside of settings and custom activities. But we're gonna start here for this account inside of statuses and pipelines and actually draw out what our pipeline looks like. Now I'm going to try to build a pipeline, like I said, for direct to seller, but I'm pretty confident I'll be able to show you how this will work for agent outreach relationships as well as JV relationships as well. The main thing being the address pipeline, the pipeline of getting the property under contract and dispositioning it, right? That's the core thing here. So we're going to delete to these pipeline stages here, and we're gonna leave one, we're gonna leave lost. And I think in my non-wholesaling experience, because I'm not a wholesaler, but I am a sales operator that maps wholesaling processes, I think a good opportunity status to start with is just going to be our potential, right? This is a potential address, a potential new deal that has been in front of us. Maybe that deal then needs additional info, so we'll go needs additional info. Maybe we can't do our underwriting process because we don't have the info that we're looking for. From there, maybe we actually send it into underwriting so we can put together an offer. From there, we will send an offer. Send offer, and then after it's accepted, it might go into our marketing stage. So this is getting our marketing material and assets ready to be able to send this out to our buyers list. From there, we might schedule a walkthrough with a potential buyer. So walkthrough scheduled, and then the lead may go to a deal stage of escrow. So the escrow amount being deposited, and then we have our won and we have our lost. So this is what I have seen a wholesale process look like. Your process might look a little bit different, but when we think about an address that comes into our ecosystem as a potential new address, then we've got to get all the information, whether it came from a JV partner or we went direct to seller, or it came from one of our agents that we did outreach to. We're looking for additional information so we can do our underwriting process. Once we've done our underwriting process, we're going to send that offer over to the seller. If the seller accepts it, we're going to get all of our marketing material ready to start to market that offer. If we have a buyer that is ready to look at the property, they will schedule their walkthrough. From there, if they like the property, they'll put their money into escrow, and then we can either win the deal or lose the deal. So that's going to be our opportunity pipeline statuses and stages. And we will look at our lead statuses now, which will start with potential. I like that one. We're going to delete bad fit. We have qualified. We're going to add not qualified, active and not active. And this will all make sense to you guys here in a second. I'm gonna build a lead profile to show you an example of what this will actually look like once we get through the settings. Once you see it on a lead profile, sneak peek, it looks like this. Once you see it on a lead profile, you see how all these pieces talk to each other and actually makes it really easy for you to filter for whatever information you're looking for. And then we're gonna go DNC for people that say do not call. We'll go bad data for the ones we have bad data for. Then we're going to delete not interested. We're going to, because not interested I also think is not qualified. We're gonna delete canceled. We're gonna delete interested because we have qualified and not qualified. And we're gonna delete customer because some people might sell us multiple properties. So who is going to be a customer as far as a lead status goes? We're not gonna have that. So we're gonna delete customers. So now we've got potential, qualified, not qualified, active, not active, DNC, bad data. I'm gonna go into custom fields here and I'm gonna delete a couple of these custom fields like this referral source one as default, this industry one, this current vendor software. I'm gonna add a custom field here called avatar. And this avatar custom field is gonna be a drop-down single select. And I'm gonna have inside of here, I'm gonna have buyer, I'm gonna have VIP buyer, are important ones. You can be a qualified buyer, you can be a qualified VIP buyer, you can be a not qualified buyer, you can be an active buyer, meaning that you have actually bought a deal from us before, or you could be a not active buyer, meaning you've bought a deal from us before previously, but you're not actively buying deals right now. See how the lead status in this field will start to talk with each other. Once again, it'll all make more sense once we get it onto a lead profile. We can have a JV partner, we can have a VIP JV partner. We got a buyer, JV partner, we have a seller, maybe we have an agent, we have a VIP agent. No VIP sellers. I'm not really sure that's a thing. That's probably your JV partner, your VIP JV partner. Because sellers usually typically only sell like one home, and if they sell more than that, they might be a JV partner. Avatar, drop down single select, add field, and we're gonna leave our lead owner there. That's gonna be the person that's obviously like our acquisitions manager. If you have the same person doing acquisitions and a different person doing dispositions, maybe you might have an acquisitions pipeline and a dispositions pipeline. The pipeline that I'm taking you guys through in this structure it would be fair to say it might be managed by the same person. Whereas in a larger organization, you might want to take this pipeline that we created, acquisition pipeline, and when it gets to sent offer, or when it gets to, the marketing stage, that could be the start of the disposition pipeline. So you have like an offer accepted to start the next pipeline and then take you through this, and then you can have your acquisition team only working the first half of the pipeline, your disposition team working the second half of the pipeline. Like I said, trying to get you guys to understand this from a principle level, so these nuanced things you can take back and implement inside of your account. So that's good on statuses, good on pipelines. I feel good about the custom field that we just added. I want to add some additional custom fields for our opportunities though. And our opportunity is going to be the deal or the actual address. And that's going to make sense to you when I show you this deal card. And the opportunity custom fields that we might want would be like square footage. We want to make sure when we do that, that we bring that in as a number field. So if we want to filter for properties above 3,000 square feet or below 3,000 square feet, we bring it in as a number field. The difference would be bringing it in as a text field and saying it's 3,200 square feet or putting additional information in here. Whereas if we bring it in as a number field, we're just going to write 3,200 and it's going to give us better filtering capabilities in the future. So square foot number field, we're going to add this field. We're going to add another new opportunity custom field. We're going to add beds. We're going to make this a number field. We're going to add baths, and we're going to make this a number field. Bed, bath, square footage. This might have any other information. If you're getting this from like a JV partner, maybe it's like what type of deal type, right? This could be choice single select of creative finance, conventional. That probably doesn't exist. Like I said, I'm not a wholesaler. Creative finance, conventional, wholesale, whatever it may be as far as a deal type goes. So you'll be able to see all this information on your actual deal card. So we've got a pipeline set up. We've got our custom fields created on a lead level and an opportunity level. And we're not going to do anything inside of custom activities yet because you'll see where they may make sense versus where they don't make sense. Now, I'm going to create an example lead for you. So I'm going to go lead, contact name, John Smith. And John Smith, we're going to create an opportunity for, and this is going to be for in our notes. Now, if you automate this from like an intake form or you're importing data or whatever, if you can bring the address into the notes, especially for your JV partners that are sending you multiple addresses or your real estate agents that are sending you multiple addresses, we want to bring the address into the notes here here because when we're looking at our deal card, we're going to be able to see that address at the top. If you put it somewhere else, it's gonna be really hard to see it when managing your pipeline. So we have 3 beds, 3 baths on this home, and the deal type is gonna be to wholesale the deal. I save it, I save John Smith's information. It's a potential deal. So maybe I was doing outreach to John Smith, or I imported a list of leads. So now when we look at our opportunity card over here, we can go to options and we wanna show the contacts, maybe lead status. We wanna see the contact, we wanna see the notes and additional custom fields. Amazing, let's see all of our statuses so we can see it all the way through. Now we can see that John Smith and 123 Main Street, the wholesale deal at 3,200 square feet, 3 beds, 3 baths. It's a potential deal. I connected with a potential seller on the phone that says, you know what? Yeah, I will sell you my home. Okay, cool. Can you give me some information about the property? I'll have to get that to you. Needs additional info. Hey, I've got you all the information. Cool. We're going to get back to you with an offer here same day. Move it to underwriting. We sent the offer over. Sent offer. So the offer gets accepted. We go into our marketing stage. And this could be where the disposition pipeline starts. If you separate the two, walk through scheduled, escrow, won, or lost. Hopefully that is making sense for you guys. So if I look back on the lead profile, I see what that contact card looks like. Now, other things we want to do in here is add John Smith's custom field. John Smith's custom field could be with an avatar of, we know he is a seller. We can add another custom field lead owner saying that, hey, I'm the one managing this lead. So in this case, this lead might come in, if you automate all of this, depending on your source or depending on your import, it might look like this: a potential deal, a potential lead status, avatar of a seller, I'm the lead owner, John Smith is the contact. I call up John Smith and he tells me he wants to sell his home. Well, now I know he's qualified to actually sell his home. Interested stages before, same thing. He's qualified to sell the home. Or I call up John Smith and he's like, no way am I selling you my home. He's not qualified. And then his potential deal card might be a deal loss. I don't recommend you create the deal cards until you have someone say, yes, I'm interested in selling my home. And that's where you could go through and dial. And then when you get connected with someone that says they're interested, maybe you have a custom activity 01 interested seller, where you'll put in the address. This will be a text field. You'll put in the beds. This will be a number field. And you put in the baths. This will be a number field. You can make these required too if you want for your team, which I recommend if you're gonna have it as a process. You do make them required, and you can put in square foot as a number field as well. So I'm dialing. I get connected with John Smith. We have a conversation. He says, yes, I am interested in selling. I would fill out this interested seller form with 123 Main Street, put in the additional information of beds, bath, and square footage, or any other additional information I should have in the sales process. And then this custom activity could be the trigger to create the opportunity. So this profile now tells us a lot of information. We have an interested seller, and maybe when this interested seller gets filled out, it would change it from not qualified to qualified, from potential to qualified. It would create this deal card, and additionally, it would add all the information from this custom activity to this deal card. Don't create the deal cards until you have someone raise their hand and say, yes, I'm interested in selling. Now stay on John Smith for a second. I'm gonna delete this custom activity so I don't confuse you, and I don't wanna have to go build a bunch of other leads, for example. But let's pretend John Smith is actually a JV partner. So we're gonna change his avatar from seller to a JV partner, maybe a VIP JV partner. We do a lot of deals with him, and he's qualified. What's happening now is you may find yourself with multiple different opportunities. So we have 123 Main Street. Now we might have in our notes 789. Now we might have in our notes 789 Sesame Street. Same thing. We have those square foot, 3,000. We have beds and baths, and a deal type of this is a creative finance deal. So now John Smith has multiple deals as a JV partner he sent me. And as a JV partner, this could be the same as an agent. So think of this as an agent. If you guys created a pipeline for agent outreach or JV partners in relationships, maybe that pipeline would not be a sales pipeline like this, but it could be a new pipeline called agent outreach. And this would be a potential stage first, and then this will be made contact, positive. We'll have a one or awaiting first. So let's do deal sent, one, lost, cool. One would be then our active status. Oh, of course I can't change it. So go one, make active, add, and lost we know is supposed to be a lost status. Let me re-add that because I'm a professional. So we have a potential real estate agent, or maybe you're just doing outreach again. You don't need to start with, you don't need to start there. You don't need to start with the potential stage. You can maybe start the opportunity pipeline with the made contact contact stage, depending on how someone's coming into your ecosystem. So you made contact, positive contact. If you made negative contact, maybe you're just moving them to loss, right? There's no relationship to be had. And then you want to keep them in that stage for as long as it takes for them to actually put a deal across your line. Because you know, when they put a deal across your line, whether good deal or bad deal, they've taken another step forward and showed more initiative than the people that you just made contact with and said, yes, I'll have a relationship with you. And then a 1 would be they sent a deal across your line, then you actually closed it and you would update it to 1. So this is what an agent outreach or JV relationship pipeline can look like inside of a wholesaling business. So we've talked about the pipeline stages. We see how on a lead profile we can determine who is a VIP JV partner who's qualified, or maybe if they're a VIP JV partner, they're probably not going to be qualified, but maybe they're active because they're actively sending us deals right now, or maybe they're a VIP JV partner that's not active because they're not actively sending us deals. All of that information can be concluded just by looking at the left-hand side of a lead profile inside of Close without things being too complicated or too messy. So let's talk about some smart views now that can help aid you in this process. So we're going to add a smart view here, and one of them could be avatar, and that is just showing avatar is not present, and we're going to save this as, and this is a process check smart view. This is going to be needs avatar. So this way you never import a lead into your organization that doesn't have an avatar. For example, if I make another contact here, Jenny Doe, create lead, she will appear inside of needs avatar because she does not have the avatar custom field. In order to fix that, I come in, add the avatar custom field. She disappears from need avatar. If we look at our pipeline stages, we have leads and potential, we have need leads and additional info, we have leads and underwriting, sent offer, marketing, walkthrough scheduled, escrow, et cetera, et cetera. So we can build a smart view for all of the leads that sit in those stages without communication for maybe a certain amount of time. Or maybe we want to add a filter like we like nurturing our relationships with our buyers. If you guys have buyers in your network, hitting them on just the email campaign that you're sending from MailChimp or whatever isn't keeping a relationship. If you actually want to keep a relationship with them, get their phone number, get their email, bring them into your CRM and set up a smart view that looks like this. And that would be avatar, where status is any of a buyer. And we're going to search communication, and we're going to find where the last communication date is before. We're going to go days ago. Days ago, and we're gonna do 14 days ago. So this is gonna show you all the leads in your account that have an avatar of a buyer that you haven't talked to in 14 days. Maybe you wanna add the status, only show me the ones that are qualified or active. I don't wanna do the not qualified ones or the not active ones. Maybe I wanna say hi to the not active ones to reactivate them. And then we can also add another filter here, lead owner, and we can do lead owner as any of me. This way, if I have multiple people on my team, on a dispositions team looking to keep relationships with buyers, I can save this as, we'll just number it 01, buyer relationship, and then we'll put, we'll use blue for the disposition team, and we'll share with everyone. And now whoever logs into the account, if they are a lead owner with a buyer that meets those other criteria of the statuses and no communication within 14 days, every 14 days that goes by, that buyer's information is going to show up inside of this smart view. It's going to prompt you to then reach out, send them a call, send them a text, send them an email. As soon as you do that, they disappear for 14 more days. That's how you keep relationships with buyers as a wholesaler. And this same smart view, this same logic can be applied to where the avatar is any of these: VIP agent, VIP buyer, VIP JV partner, agent, etc. Same logic can be applied. Maybe we don't want leads to sit in our potential stage for too long without moving to our next pipeline stage of needs additional info. So let's create a smart view for add filter status, and we're going to go down to find opportunities where current status is any of in our sales pipeline, and we're not going to select them all. We're just going to select potential. We're going to search lead owner is any of me. We're going to go last communication, or we're going to do communication. I'm going to find where date last communication is before. We're going to go down to days ago again. Maybe we'll go 1 day ago. So every day that goes by where someone's in a potential stage that you're the lead owner, you have to put a touch point on. Or maybe you don't want to go day ago. You can go hours ago. Maybe you need to be putting touch points on because it's so urgent and so important for you to get it to that next pipeline stage as fast as possible that maybe you want to make sure you're putting a touch point on every 3 hours. In these smart views, I create like buckets. That's how you should be looking at this. It's like a bucket where certain criteria are met, they enter the smart view, and then when other criteria is met, like the communication or the touch point, they get removed from the smart view. And that's the bucket philosophy, potential deal outreach. The bucket philosophy that we use here at Close Doctor. So you can build smart views to keep relationships with people. You can build smart views to show you where information is missing, like this information has no avatar. Or maybe we want to show, maybe we created a deal card the right way if you're doing things manually. So I can go opportunities, find where there is a current opportunity opportunity where the number of beds is none or does not exist, is not present. So save as, I'll add a little needs bed count. And you could do beds, baths, whatever. You could call this like a needs additional info. There's no leads in here right now, but if I go to Jenny Doe and I add an opportunity for her and I don't add the additional bed info, I don't add anything else, we're gonna see that Jenny Doe is now gonna end up inside of here. So every process needs a process check. So we can look on a lead profile now, see what avatar they are. We can look on a lead profile, and if we're working with an agent or a JV partner, like in this example here, we have multiple deals now, 123 Main Street, 789 Sesame Street. Problem with Close, where HubSpot is a little bit better, is HubSpot actually allows you to take these deal cards and their own unique properties. So you can take a deal card property, assign it to a contact property, and those contacts can be assigned to multiple deal cards, or those deal cards can be assigned to multiple contacts, and then the communication can actually live under that deal card. Where you lose that in Close is all the communication, whether you're talking about 123 Main Street or 789 Sesame Street, is going to live in the lead profile, and you might not know what address you're talking about. So obviously when you're texting or calling, you need to say, hey, is this for address 123 Main Street? Additionally, if you're always sending emails or sending texts that include address information, you can search a lead profile for the address and only get the information that contains that address. When information about an address comes across your screen, when information about an address comes across your table and you're not sure where it is or who it is assigned to, obviously you can also just search inside of the search bar inside of Close. Now say we want to automate the relationship with the buyers and just have a workflow do some of the work for us. Check out this video on your screen here on my 5 best and favorite workflows. I'll teach you how to build the workflows, and I'll cover it a little bit here as well. And that is going to be workflow name, and we'll call this buyer relationship. Or let's not talk about the buyer relationships anymore. Let's talk about getting in touch with the sellers. So let's do seller outreach. So we'll go seller outreach. And if we got their information legally and we can send them texts, amazing, because we're going to send them texts as well. So if you goal, it turns off a workflow with an incoming email, incoming SMS, incoming call. Important thing to note is that it doesn't turn off your workflow if you do an outgoing call and they pick up. So you manually need to turn it off. Then you have a communication schedule here as well. When do you want these texts, emails, calls to go out? Maybe you just want to work Monday through Friday, but you want to extend the time, you can do that. Now you import a list of leads to Close. Say you then create a smart view based on that import. So you have now a smart view on your new lead import. It might look something like this on your screen here, but you might have 1,000 people in there. So we want that workflow to probably kick off with a call. So we'll add a step here of call, and we're going to assign it to a assigned user in a custom field, and that's going to be the lead owner. So that way when you enroll it into the workflow, it will make sure that all the call steps, all the texts, all the emails go out from that lead owner, and we're going to require this step with no delay. So that's going to give them first call. Maybe you like to call people back to back, double call them quickly. So we can go second call required with no delay as well. So it's 2 calls happening back to back now in the first day. Maybe you then want to send them a text, and that text could have no delay after that call, and that text could say, make sure you're just using some naming conventions here when you're building these templates. Hey, contact first name, it's Sam here with Wholesaling United. You guys like my wholesaling name? Are you still looking to sell your property? Or can I ask you some questions about, and then we can insert template tag, and we can go, if we brought the address into a custom field additionally, so go to settings, custom fields, lead custom field, bring the address there as well. If it's just one address for one seller, we could bring it in there, and then we could say, can I ask you questions about, and then insert template tag of property address about your property. I have money for you. Because we want them to reply. So make sure when you're writing sales copy, it's good sales copy and it doesn't sound like marketing copy. They're not the same thing. So we can save that SMS, hit done, save here. Now you guys will see on the overview tab on day 1, I have a call 1, call 2, and an SMS that goes out. And you can continue to build on top of this. I can add another SMS with a couple hour delay. We'll go 1 hour delay. I'll do new template. I'll do seller outreach number 2. And we'll just say, let me know I've got cash buyers ready to close this week. So now we'll hit done, we'll save this. Make sure additionally you're always changing that step. I'll come back to it and show you guys. But now on day 1, we got call 1, call 2, and 2 texts. And those texts that we'll send an hour after each other, and they kind of feel like organic. They kind of feel like it's not coming from a workflow because of the way you can write your sales copy in those texts. Make sure, like I said, on the send from, you always do assign user in a custom field and lead owner. And then obviously you need to make sure every profile has a lead owner. So you might might want to create a smart view of lead owner and do custom field lead owner is not present. And we can save this as red light needs lead owner. And now we see that Jenny Doe, it meets that requirement. If I go over here and I add the lead owner of Sam Queen, I'll see that in that lead owner, she's no longer there. So we've covered up setting a pipeline. I've shown you how to set up an outreach pipeline to build better relationships with more JV partners or more agents. We've talked about how to actually set up the pipeline for the address itself. That's the important thing here, guys. You're talking about an address. An address is your deal if you're a wholesaler. I wish we could name the opportunities an address, but it's always the contact name. So it's a best practice to bring the address information into the notes. That way it doesn't get buried. If I added more custom fields for these opportunities, there will actually be a see more button that would show here, and I wouldn't be able to see all the information all at once. So you want to add the address at the top so it's easy to see. We talked about how those go through the pipeline stages. We talked about how you can build a smart view for each stage of the process, like this potential deal outreach showing that I need to make a touch point every 3 hours for leads in this stage. And obviously you can change this status to anything else inside of your sales pipeline. Maybe you want to put it inside of walkthrough scheduled, and then you want to make sure you're saying hi to the people that are in walkthrough scheduled really consistently, staying in pocket with them. Same thing. And you can change obviously 3 hours to 3 days, 30 days, whatever it may be. How to set up process checks to make sure all the information on your profile is always accurate and you have everything that you need. If you made a smart view with your imports and then you bulk enrolled all of those leads into that smart view, which would look like this: enroll in workflow. What workflow do I want to enroll them in? Seller outreach, and send SMS from, I don't have a phone number in here, but this will be the SMS that it's sending from, or the lead owner. And then I would go into my workflows tab here. I would go into my seller outreach workflow, and there would be a green button or a blue button that says, hey, here are all the dials you have to make today. You press that button one time and you will chick, 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 start calling all of those leads in order. After you make the call, it'll prompt you to make the second call. After the second call is made, it will send the text. An hour later after that text, it'll send another text. And you can obviously clearly continue to build this workflow out to day 2, day 3, day 4, day 7, day 30, day 180. Workflows and close have no end point. Make sure you're bringing information in the right way. As far as deal cards go, you don't want to bring square foot beds, baths into a custom activity because that'll get buried over time. And if you have a JV partner or agent relationship sending you multiple deals, you're going to lose that information over time. Make sure you have an avatar assigning what they are. And don't get confused with what a lead status is versus what something like this avatar is. I can see that this is a VIP JV partner that is not active. I didn't put not active VIP JV partner, active VIP JV partner, not active seller. I didn't put all of those in the lead statuses because they're not statuses. It's an avatar, and we can leverage something like a custom field to do that inside of here. Additionally, we talked about custom activities, right? Interested seller, if you were doing that outreach and then they picked up the phone and they said, yes, we could create a form like this. A custom activity is just a form where the sales rep then has to fill in that information around what that call looks like. Maybe we just rename this as not interested seller, but seller reached. And then we have another drop down of outcome, which could be a drop down single, select interested, not interested. And then you could create an additional smart view with a process check that could be maybe a duration, find calls where duration is more than 2 minutes, and the avatar is any of a seller, and the custom activity of seller reach does not exist, and this would be needs outcome logged. So this would give you all the leads where you had more than a 2-minute duration, which could look like this on Jenny Doe. Can't log, oh, there we go. I can log a call 5 minutes. Call logged, needs outcome logged. It's gonna show, I'll change Jenny's avatar to seller so it meets that. So now she's got a call greater than 5 minutes. She is a seller. She should be in this needs outcome log. She is. So this is saying like, hey, Mr. Acquisitions Manager, you had a conversation with this lead. I see you had a 5-minute call, but you didn't tell us what happened. So you would fill out this seller reached, 123 Main Street, your beds, your baths, your square footage, your outcome of the call, interested, not interested. And then all of this information could create your deal card, update your lead status as well. If you are a wholesaler and you found this video to be beneficial, I can help you even further than this in mapping your exact sales process. So once again, there's a link down in the description below so you can book a call with me. I'm going to be making more real estate content. So if you are a real estate professional, subscribe to this channel, smash the like button, let me know you liked it. Let me know what I missed in this video because I'm not a wholesaler. I'm just a sales operator that loves to map sales processes and prevent leads and relationships from ever slipping through the cracks. That's going to be all for this one. I'll see you in the next videos. And as always, happy closing. Thanks.